Well, welcome everybody. This is such a grand occasion. We are here to celebrate. Parents and family, I am in awe of you and hope to be you one day. I know your parenting role does not ever go away, but you all have raised children to be wonderful adults who now also have a full-time job that actually has a good salary attached to that. And this is a huge accomplishment. Graduates, congratulations. This has been a challenging path you all have chosen to take, and I have not seen an easy button anywhere along the way. It has taken sacrifices, dedication. It took a belief in yourselves that you were, say with me, smart, active, confident, cute. Woo! So, most of you don't know a thing about the origin of this mantra. So last year, when I had a pretty heavy teaching load, I was trying to get 4 different grants out the door, and I was working to try to keep my hectic family schedule organized. The chaos of all this must have come through because one day Jerry leaned in and she said, "Mary, you can do this." I truly appreciated Jerry's thoughtfulness, and the words she said reminded me of a family story that I shared with the class, which was a couple of years ago when my youngest son, Pete, was in 3rd grade. He was super stressed. Around 2 o'clock, I started getting phone calls from the school nurse that Pete had a stomach ache. Well, it happened to be that group out loud reading time started at 2 o'clock. Did anybody else get a stomach ache in elementary school? We're a lot alike. I had mine on Friday mornings before spelling test, and on Sunday nights, dreading the start of school on Mondays. Pete didn't excel at reading. In 3rd grade, he was whizzing through 4th grade math, but he was barely reading at a 2nd grade level. So we came up with a game plan. He got extra reading assistance at school. We worked really hard at home, but despite all this work, Pete was still struggling. He was still feeling unsure about himself. He was worried about where he was falling short. His successes didn't help his confidence, and he couldn't see his potential. So I came up with this mantra that he could repeat to himself when he started to worry about something where he felt like he was struggling. This real mantra was to remind him that he was smart, he was active, he should be confident, and he is definitely cute. So the class of 26, as you can tell, embraced Pete's mantra. It was a time where practicals, tests, assignments, they were all piling up, and I'm guessing your confidence level was nowhere near the height of this pile. You were focused on where you're struggling, and your past and current successes were covered up by this pile of impending judgment. You were perhaps questioning your ability, and certainly the great light of graduation was pretty dim in that tunnel far away. So it's easy to see why this mantra caught on so quickly. We all hope that repeating something will make it true. Shoot, I was just sitting right over there thinking, smart, I'm active, I'm confident, I'm curious. I could do this. I could talk in front of all these people. Anyway, on a practical day, I could hear this mantra echoing out in the hallway as students were getting ready to enter the testing room. But after the practical, Lauren came up and she said, "Well, Mary, I didn't come out of that practical feeling very smart and not very confident, but I'm hanging tight because I'm still cute and I'm active." This discord between the mantra and how we really feel has caused me to spend much of the last year thinking about why our perceptions of self-worth blow with the wind. Get a good grade, graduate with a doctoral degree, get a fabulous job, somebody you love loves you back. In these situations, it becomes easy to say, gosh darn, I am smart, active, confident, and cute. It seems to me these confidence boosts grow from shallow roots and wither quickly. And it's interesting, at least for me, the memories of failures grow from deep roots. Like the weeds in my lawn that grow solid and firm in the heat and drought of summer, and my grass has been brown forever, and I've been cultivating that. So the fruit of my initial thinking on this mantra and the discord led me to decide that a mantra repeated or encouraging words, they aren't worthless. They can spur you to try something you might not have tried. I'm thinking it was Katie that we got to come up and try some exam items that she was not wanting to try. We told her, you're smart, you're active, you're confident, cute, and we will all help you. But I was left with the remaining question of how do we grow deep, sustaining roots of self-worth? I turned to my tried and true strategy. I started researching it. I made my adult Sunday school class spend the last 5 months doing a book study with me. And I talked to everybody I know about this topic. So this is the summary of what I learned. First, much of what we have been talking about falls into what is called the currency of worth. In academics, you know your worth by grades, by the type of degree, and honors achieved. In clinical practice, your worth will be determined by patient outcomes, specialization, leadership roles, but also by some not-so-valid measures, like who comes to see you. Famous people always make you look better, right? Charlie Mack. That's all she needed to become APTA president. Your worth will be attached to how much money you make for yourself and your company. As a parent, there are all kinds of criteria, and everybody thinks they have this specific criteria. So I suggest you set the bar low. For example, I used to celebrate that my kids went to school fully dressed. This was a total slam dunk when Tammy Burles taught me to dress my kids the night before with the clothes they were going to wear to school or daycare the next day. So, booyah, successful mother every day. I don't think they still do that. Maybe they do. But the reality is the list goes on and on, right? The currency for determining worth changes with your role, with your situation, and you will not be satisfied. Because there will always be another standard to meet, another goal waiting for you. But as I was thinking and reading and talking, it became clear to me where the problem lied. We have confused the word worth with the word worthy. I highly recommend you all read The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown, who is a research professor in the area of social work in the University of Houston. She has interviewed thousands of people who have a strong sense of worthiness and are living what she calls a wholehearted life. This is a life with a strong sense of love and belonging and filled with joy. And she found that the soil for growing sustaining roots of worthiness were courage, compassion, and connection. I would summarize this to be the courage it takes to be authentic, to value and to be honest about the person you are. We are all full of wonderful gifts and talents, but we also have plenty of insecurities. This is the courage that it takes to turn your eyes away from those insecurities and to try something new. It's the courage it takes to put your ideas out into the arena for judgment, to come forward, to try something in class. This is the courage it takes to speak honestly about your feelings, your hope, your aspirations, and your struggles. Side story. Quite some time ago, I was on the agenda for a big grant meeting to talk about something. I don't exactly remember what it was, but I'm sure it was related to research participants. And in my mind, me and my topic were trivial compared to the others, to everyone else's contributions. As I'm talking, I'm looking around the table, and it was filled with really smart, primarily men, people with PhDs, engineers, endowed professors. Some of these guys read math equations like I read Harry Potter. So I'm feeling pretty insignificant and insecure, and at some point near the end of my talk, I realized I had pushed my chair back, and I had leaned over I was talking from almost underneath the table. I lacked the courage to value my role and my contribution to the project. Much later, I realized that my ability to identify and engage research participants, to hear their concerns, understand their problems, was critical to the research project. And that my ability to connect fancy math with people made their fancy math worthwhile. So class 2016, I challenge you to be courageous. Value the gifts you have, place them into the arena of life. You won't always succeed, but in that struggle you will find purpose and joy. Next, compassion. I just love this one. It hits really close to home. Perfectionism. Does anybody here know anything about perfectionism? If only I were smarter, funnier, dressed more, whatever, professionally or cooler. Or around here, if I only had more steps per day. Or if my lunchbox were filled with more socially acceptable, healthy food. Or if my glass was filled with water instead of soda. If only, you all just fill in the blank, right? If only you were, then I belong, everybody would love me, I would feel worthy. So perfectionism grows from that keen sense of all the ways we are or we think we are failing. But here's the funny twist that lies in what Lauren said, so listen to me closely. No one is smart, active, and confident and cute all the time. We all fail. It's a shared human experience. But how much better would we all be if we faced these struggles together? How much better would we all be if we understood that we were all connected together by a love and compassion greater than all of us? What if we all compassionately owned our imperfections and treated ourselves with kindness and respect? And what would happen if we extended that same compassion, kindness, and respect to everyone around us? What if we do as Brene Brown suggests and become recovering perfectionist and aspiring good enoughist? Recovering perfectionist and aspiring good enoughist. I know this is scary, isn't it? Because we are all deeply embedded in achievement culture. But this doesn't mean that we go into the workplace or our daily lives and we stop seeking new knowledge or setting goals or setting expectations. What it does determine is the mindset as we evaluate ourselves and others. Instead of asking, how far from perfect was my performance? We have a healthy striving asking, how can I improve? So class of 2016, I challenge you all to be recovering perfectionist and aspiring good enoughist. You are worthy just as you are right now. Embrace all of who you are, show compassion to yourself when you fail, and extend that compassion to those around you. Finally, connections. Now, knowing that you are loved, that you belong, and that you are worthy right now, work to develop deep, very personal, and honest connections with those around you. These are relationships that, when they are at their best, allow open and honest conversations without judgment. These are relationships that provide nourishment, energy, and strength. They give us the balance we need to be resilient in hard times. And they give us the party we need to celebrate when wonderful things happen. So courage, compassion, and connections, these are the building blocks of deep sustaining roots of worthiness. Brene Brown goes on to talk about common practices of people who live wholehearted lives, who have a strong sense of worth. They are things like regular periods of prayer, calm, and stillness, practicing gratitude, but they also include having fun, playing, laughing, dancing, and singing. So with that in mind, we have been through a tough year together. and I wanted to give you something extra. I wanted to help make this year's graduation the best celebration ever. So I've enlisted, twisted the arms, negotiated, pulled in all of my special check marks to give you a special gift. This will be a very authentic gift. Certainly filled with flaws, but it's given to you as a sign of our love. Sorry, and our best wishes. To the ceremony, to Sharon for agreeing by email to do this, and for Tammy and Marcy for doing the winnets, and for Patty and Lynette for teaching us somewhat how to dance. So congratulations, class of 2016, you are worthy. May God bless your next journeys and fill you with courage, compassion, and connections.